Hello, everybody. Rob Cootie here. Today is November 17th. It's currently 10:58 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As you know, we go live each and every day at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today is a really good topic. You do not want to miss it. It is this: responding to tough questions that your prospects ask. How to respond to tough questions your prospects ask. Look, your business is built on leaders. You cannot afford to push people away. You need to be confident and accurate in your responses. We're going to talk about that and much more on this subject in today's episode. Join us 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and please share our podcast and our social media platforms with our fellow network marketers across the globe. You can do that by hashtag TheMLM-Solution. We'll see you in a moment. Thank you.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Hello, Miss Marie. How are you today?
Good morning, Rob. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I feel good again today. So that's 2 days in a row.
Well, good. We're on a roll. Let's see if we can do this all week long.
I know. And the wife jinxed me the other day. As you get older, of course, you're still a spring chicken, but as you get older, I remember a friend of mine, he said, Rob, man, once you get past 50, your body just falls apart. And at that time, I was in my 40s, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, right, whatever, And this guy was really good at taking care of himself. It wasn't like he was some kind of slouch. And I'll be honest with you, he was probably at that time, he's probably about 52, 55, but he looked like he was 75. He led a hard life, and that's not knocking him. Okay, super nice guy, just saying. Anyway, the point is that I'm thinking, yeah, whatever, okay. So it wasn't 50 for me. It was 60. I'm 62 in the last 2 years. I mean, it has been one thing after another. So the wife the other day jinxed me. Her hip started bothering her. And sometimes when you get older, your ligaments, in various parts of your body get strained real easy, et cetera, et cetera. And if you strain a ligament in your hip area, it can cause real pain. So she brings it up, and I'm fine. I feel good. As you know, I fell on my hip and on my side, and that's the left side. That's how I ended up breaking my arm, et cetera. And I had these big old huge bruises, but really, once the bruising went away, I felt fine. All of it, the day after she brought that up, my left hip has been killing me. So now I've got my left arm, left hip. I can't hardly walk.
That's called sympathy pains, Rob.
I know. Thank God she's not pregnant. Man, I tell you what.
Well, and I have to tell you, I've always been a little precocious, so my body started going downhill in my mid 40s. So really? I'm way ahead of you.
Oh my gosh, I would have never guessed that. I know you're active. I mean, you're out there. You just grab life by the tail and go for it. I get that. You are an active person. I've always known that, but I did not realize that your body would start to give you challenges.
Yeah, well, the whole goal is to wear it out before you die, right? So I might be ahead of schedule.
Wear it out before you lose it, right?
Right.
Well, you look great, and I know that you're still active, and that's awesome. And you know what? When I bring up these elements, I'm not bitching. I'm laughing. Okay, I just want you to know that. I mean, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, can 2020? I'm just going to hold my breath and hoping that God allows me to be here in 2021, in a good way, And I was just responding. One of my accounts on Twitter was suspended, and I, me, I'm like, I don't give a hoot, and because I'm moving everything. As a matter of fact, today I should have everything moved over to Parler and Rumble. Parler's the #1 downloaded app in the world. Do you know that?
Well, I was going to say, I think after the elections, I've been noticing a lot of people making the move. They're going to Parler, they're going to MeWe, they're going to Rumble.
Yep.
So it's been an interesting shift. I don't know that that they're going to be able to really make a dent in the powerhouses that Facebook and Twitter are, but at the same time, I think people are sending a little bit of a message.
Yeah, there's no doubt. We started, you and I, before the election, and I've just been uploading our videos, and I could care less about tweets, if you want to use that terminology. But the videos take a while because they're good size. You and I were doing an hour or more, and those are large files, and it takes a while to download them and then upload them. Blah blah blah. Right. So anyway. Well, you know what? It's over 4,000 downloads a minute for Parler.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that'll get your attention no matter who you are, what company. And I know that some of the tech people are taking notice of Parler and Rumble. Parler's the #1 in the world and has been for the last 4 days, and Rumble's #6. So there's something to be said about the movement. And I hope that Twitter and Facebook and ScrewTube all die a slow, painful death. I know a lot of people are moving out of there, and I'm going to be closing down all of our accounts once we get it done, once we get it migrated. Mm-hmm. So anyway, today's a good subject, guys. We talked about it. Today's subject, as you can see on the podcast, for all of you listening on the podcast, and thank you guys. I've been looking at our numbers on SoundCloud and other platforms. And it was awesome as usual, and I'm very, very grateful. So with that being said, sorry, I got something that's bothering my hand. Anyway, today is how to handle tough questions from your prospects. How to handle tough questions from your prospects. Miss Marie, that can be a touchy subject there.
Well, it can be, and I think it's something that many people start out being a little bit nervous about. Because when you initially engage in a network marketing company, especially for the left-brained logical people like me, we like to know what we're talking about before we go out and talk to people, right?
Yeah.
So this is where a lot of folks get into trouble, where they spend a lot of time getting ready to get ready. They're doing a bunch of research. They're not actually taking the steps they need to build their business, which is engaging with prospects and presenting the business opportunity that they're creating, because there's a slight fear of the questions that they're going to be asked and not being able to respond to those questions. So I think this is going to be a really good episode.
I agree. And then, your response has to be quick, has to be confident, and has to be authoritative and accurate. And that is what you want to do. And those adjectives right there will clearly identify the process. If you miss those, go back and listen to that small little four words I spit it out, because that is exactly what you want to master. The ability to answer quickly, authoritatively, accurately, and that is something that is going to take you a long way. Now you say, well, okay, well, that they have a right to ask questions. Absolutely, they do. But here's the thing: we have always told you guys, and we're going to start this information out correctly. We've always told you guys you've got to maintain control, meaning that you have to control where this is going. It's all about speed and urgency. You got to remember in the back of your mind, and everything that you do, it's got to be speed and urgency. It has to be part of that process. Everything you do, it creates that speed and urgency, even when you're filling out the documents at home and stuff, meaning that, look, it's all about getting on the phone, on the Zoom call, on the Skype call, whatever, and contacting as many people as you can, meaning that if you fill out your documents, please fill them out as quickly as you can without stressing yourself out. Don't increase your self-induced stress by saying, oh my gosh, Rob said, Marie said, and you're just, no, calm down. Just do it quickly and do it efficiently and move on to what? Following up with your next prospect. Do these things continuously, get used to it. It's like anything else. Repetition is going to make you a master, and you'll get to the point where this will come naturally to you. In the beginning, it'll seem overwhelming. Do not be hard on yourself. And the reason I say this, guys, and this is part of the how to handle these tough questions, The thing is that you have to be moving ahead in the back of your mind always with speed and urgency. And everything you're doing is being duplicated. Those are two things that should always be following you around up here. Wherever you go, is this duplicatable? Are my people, am I doing the right steps? Because what Marie and I have done with the 5 simple steps, we have broken the system down to what? 5 simple steps. Don't make them more complicated. Don't add things to it, okay? And in order for those 5 simple steps to be effective and to work with you instead of against you, you have to remember all the time it's about speed and urgency and duplication, okay? So now that we have that out of the way, what you're doing here is going to be something that's going to be duplicatable with not only yourself, obviously, but with your downline too. And it's going to take a little bit of experience, because Marie and I talk about deliver the music to the ears message, and we act like it's a one-sided conversation, but we're doing training on a video platform. So we have to act like there's only a one-way conversation going on so that you clearly understand. We didn't want to muddle that message and teaching moment by having a response from your quote-unquote prospect. So that episode, Music to the Ears, is all about delivering that message in a confident way and what you need to do and what the results will be. In this episode, it's about the prospect gaining control for a momentary, which they have every right to do, momentary moment. Hey, what's the product? And you got to respond in a very powerful, very authoritative way, and in a nice, polite way. But I'm saying hey, you know what? I'm a business builder. We've gone through this before, but hey, I'm a business builder. I'm an entrepreneur, all about making the money. I'm all about the lifestyle. I've been doing this for a long time. I've learned that the product is just another tool for me. If you want to learn about it, then here's what you need to do. You need to go to the website. They have all the ingredients. They have videos there. They have testimonials there. Everything you possibly need to know is there. And then when we do the follow-up, I'll follow up with you tomorrow, next day, whatever. And then we can talk about what you see there, okay? And even then, during the follow-up, I am not going to be the answer man, okay? But I will listen to their concern. If it's concerns legitimate during the follow-up, I will address what little concern, like, hey, is this delivered to my door? Hey, what if I have a problem? Can I return it? I can answer those. Those are simple. But if they're going to get into the ingredients, the effectiveness of it, how long does it take? Once again, that is a website information thing. And guys, there's a reason why I don't go to the website and read all about the product. I haven't done that in years. You know why? Because I want to be honest and truthful when I tell them I don't know. Okay? I take the product, but I don't know. Okay? And the thing is, I've had people say, well, then you're not informed, an informed leader. You're not being a true leader. People will test you in that way. Guess what? I'm not going to go down that road. I know what I'm doing. I'm a business builder. The product is fine. So, Ms. Marie, you know that. Look, if the product's working, the company's not going to take it out of the inventory. If the product is working, no one's going to get hurt by it. If the product is working, there's not going to be any lawsuits. If none of those things exist, what does that tell you? The product freaking works, regardless of the ingredients, right?
Well, exactly. And that's one of the things I would say is when I've been asked about product ingredients and those types of things, it's like, I don't know. You know what? I get in my car, I turn the key, it runs, I drive, right? I don't need to know how the engine works and the combustion and, where the gasoline runs through the system. I don't care. I put the gasoline in, the car goes, right? I put the product in, it works for me. I'm happy with it. So, it's results oriented. If somebody, absolutely. If somebody wants to dig into all the details of the ingredients and stuff, it's like, there's the website, go knock yourself out.
There you go.
But the one thing I did want to mention in tagging on to what you were just saying here is our episode on the Music to the Ears message is critical. You do need to watch that because it, very much precedes what we're talking about here. But that Music to the Ears message is really the beginning of the conversation with your prospect. Yes. It's kind of setting the tone and getting an idea of this, is this something they're actually interested in or not? And you can gauge oftentimes your prospect's level of interest by the types of questions that they ask, if they ask any at all.
Right, exactly. There's going to be times where some people want to say, okay, you know what? And they're not going to ask any questions, and they're going to go to the website, and they're going to be there for the follow-up. Now, understand, it's not a bad thing for the customer, prospect to ask questions. We're not saying that's bad, bad prospect, bad, smack them on the hand or on top of the head. No, you can't ask questions. No, that's not that's not the issue. We're not anti-questions at all. She nailed it. When we sit down with them, our goal is to deliver the music to the ears message as quickly and efficiently as possible. When you get done, you may get a question right back, and you may be like, oh my gosh, they didn't tell me about that. What do I do here? That's the reason why this episode exists. So look, whatever you do, you've got to answer in an authoritative way. And if you just keep it simple and say, look, and if you remember, I just said it. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm all about the money. I'm all about the lifestyle. I understand the business model. I have a proven business building system that I've been using for years that will tap into these new companies so that I can make the money to have the lifestyle I want. I'm looking for people that want the same thing. I'll help you. I'll guide you. I have all the tools, everything. Okay. Are you interested? And if they come back with what's the product, I can tell them what the product is. It's ding dongs. We do tiddlywinks and ding dongs. Okay. Well, what are they made of? I don't know. Okay. That's what we're getting at. Okay. What is that? That's a quick, authoritative answer. Well, you want to find out, and you need to go to the website. Well, how come you don't know about the product? Well, because I just told you, I'm a business builder. I've been around this industry a long time. I understand the role of the product. The product, it's not my job to understand the ingredients of the product. Well, you're a leader. You should know the ingredients, whether it's going to hurt somebody. No, you're missing the point. Now, what am I saying in my head? This person's being a pain in the ass. Okay, there's a real potential problem here, but I'm going to answer that question. Just say, hey, look, it's not my job to know the ingredients. It's not hurting anybody. People want it. People are using it each and every day, each and every month. It's fine. It works. Okay. Now, in my mind, I'm starting to say, you know what? I may have to be backing out of this conversation here. Okay. Not because they're asking questions, but because of the type of questions and the aggressiveness that may come across when they start questioning me as a leader. Then I know that I have a potential rebel here. Nothing wrong with that, but they can be a rebel on their own time. I'm looking for people who want to have a positive relationship moving forward, not somebody who's going to have a contentious relationship where our personalities are going to conflict. Okay. So they're disqualifying themselves in this scenario. I share that with you because I want you to know that those things happen. There are strong personalities out there, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. I wouldn't be pissed off if I ran into that, but I'm not going to put up with it either. Okay. Because that's not my goal, is to cater to them. Look, life is about will. Who has the strongest will wins. Some people are willing to go to the extremes to get what they want. Who has the strongest will? That person, because everybody else faded off. Okay. And that is what life is about. So I understand when I sit down with someone, I may run into a strong-willed person who may want, in their own way, demand that I provide those answers. Well, I got to be stronger than them. And I want to be like, hell no, I ain't providing you those answers, because it's all about duplication. It's all about speed and urgency. I know what I'm doing. In other words, meeting with them and delivering the music to their message is part of the speed and urgency duplication process. So I cannot afford to screw it up, because if this person joins, they're going to do what I'm doing with them. Okay. All right. So that we have that out of the way, you've got a couple examples of what kind of questions they may ask. If they're a prior network marketer, they may ask about the comp plan, because you'll find out as you build this business, guys, there are people out there that are retreads, as her and I talked about. We did an episode on that. But the thing is, some retreads most actually won't tell you that they've been in the business before, for whatever reason. If you have a top performer that's been out of the industry for a couple of years and looking to come back, they will not brag about what they've done before, because they're a high quality person. They don't care what they did in the past, because it's in the past. What they're doing is they're going to keep their mouth shut, and they're going to find out if Rob knows what he's talking about. Okay. They're going to evaluate Rob to see what they're going to potentially be working with. Okay. You got to realize with a prior network marketer, especially a successful one, they're evaluating you. Okay. So what is your goal? To be professional and deliver and be authoritative and have a presence and have confidence, etc., that will impress them. Now, they may ask you a lot of questions, and there again, you're going to have to deflect those questions. And if later on they say, hey, I tried to ask you a lot of questions, but I see that you didn't want to answer, why not? And tell them exactly what we tell you. I'm a business builder. I'm all about the money. I'm all about the lifestyle. It's all duplication is in everything I do. If I become the answer person, I am slowing down the speed and urgency, and they'll get it. You're like, this is my man. He gets it. I now understand why he did what he did. Okay, he understands duplication. He understands speed and urgency. This is the type of person I can work with. You're going to impress them by taking that stance, by not caving in. Okay. So usually the questions you're going to get, and Miss Marie, I'll shut up here in a minute. I'm just trying to lay this out real quick. Guys, usually the questions you're going to get is about the comp plan, about the product, and about the company. And that's pretty much it. If they're prior network marketers and I ask about who you're working with, right away you'll know with that question that they're prior network marketer. They're looking to see who you may be connected to. Okay. If they ask detailed questions about the comp plan, okay, or if they start mentioning pin levels, those are indicators that this person has knowledge of the network marketing industry. Do not let that intimidate you. Do not back up. Do not say, oh, are you a prior network marketer? You got to stay focused on the task at hand, and that is to deliver the music to the ears message. Keep them on course, bring them to a close in that initial discussion. And then if they say, hey, do you have a few minutes to talk after these tough questions? And I'm going to go on a few other tough questions. Say, no, I need to go to my next appointment. Guys, once again, you will impress a prior network marketer in a big way. And if you ever want to catch a big fish and you want to have a big fish in your organization that could cause your business to explode, you better handle yourself in a professional, efficient, and effective way with confidence and know what you're doing. If you do what we're telling you during the prospecting process, it will come across exactly that you're confident, you know what you're doing, you understand speed and urgency and duplication. Right, Miss Marie?
Absolutely. And the type of questions they're asking are going to be an indicator of whether they're a potential customer, a business builder, or a potential leader. So that's the other thing to pay attention to as well.
Yeah, good point. Absolutely. So understand, once again, I'm just going to summarize what I went over because I went through it fast. A network marketer is going to ask detailed questions about pin rank, about comp plan, about who you are sponsored by or who's your upline leadership. Those are sure indications. Even if they've not been in the industry, they understand the industry very well, especially if they're asking who you're working with, because they know names. And if they know names, they have intimate knowledge of the industry that you can't get on the outside. Right, Ms. Marie? Typically,
yes.
So, all right. So then if they're asking about product, they're asking about point value, things like that. Once again, those are indicators, not asking about product point value. Make sure I get that across correctly. There again, that's knowledge, that's inside knowledge of how the industry works. Once again, possibly identifying someone that's been in the business before, who we call retreads. But that does not deter you from doing your job. Remember, music to the ears message, confident and conviction, prosper. That's what I was trying to think of. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, your typical person who is a top performer in their regular job, let's just say they're over 500 people, maybe they run a facility, maybe they're over 200 people. The point is they have an important position. They've worked their way up that. They're well educated. Not that that's important, but what I'm saying is people think differently. They're more analytical, they're more organizational type, and they're inquisitive by nature. Why? Because when they go to a meeting, whether it's a board meeting, whether it's a supervisory meeting, whether it's mid-management meeting, I can tell you from experience that you better be prepared with numbers, with facts, with knowledge, with graphs, all of that stuff. And you better know what you're talking about. And what does that mean to them? Okay, they operate, they're used to being on the spot. They operate in detailed information. So you got to realize that could be their mode of operation. When they start asking questions about the comp plan, they may not even know what's called a comp plan. Well, how do I get paid? How does that work? Okay, what about the product? What's its ingredients? And they start asking, that's how they are. Okay, that's how they've been brought up in the corporate world in most cases. Wouldn't you agree, Miss Marie? Have you been there?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've done it myself, right? Being the left brain logical person, you want kind of the line of information to follow.
Right. And they're trying to connect the dots, guys. They don't know you. They don't know if they can trust you. They're leery about the network marketing business model to begin with, but they're intrigued enough to meet with you. And you want to make sure that you come across in a very professional manner that will put them at ease, that you're not there, you're not scamming, et cetera, et cetera. And you can do that by maintaining your focus on what you need to do. But you got to be clear. They have legitimate questions about the ingredients of the product, what the company is, where are they located, all of that. Because they're trying to connect the dots. They're trying to put together this picture in their mind. Who are you? How are you connected to this company? Where is this company located? Who owns this company? Okay, because when they're meeting you, they don't know anything. They don't know that a website even exists. Some of them, which I've experienced, Miss Marie may as well. Miss Marie, they did their homework prior to meeting with me. They literally found the website.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not hard to do, especially nowadays with social media. If you're leveraging technology appropriately, I mean, you can Google somebody's name, you can find their Facebook page, you can figure out kind of what they're doing. So
Right.
that's not unusual anymore.
No. So the thing is, they could be somewhat informed when they get there and want further clarification. Now, we're laying all of these different scenarios out to you in this short time frame because we want you to know how the mindset of these prospects can be when they sit down on the opposite side. You got to be flattered that they're meeting with you in the first place, especially in today's environment, because think about it. They don't know you. They don't know the company. They don't know the product. They don't know how the business works. It's all mumbled jumbled in their head. And when they start asking questions, they're trying to connect the dots. That's a reason why, guys, it's so important when you first contact the prospect and you set up that initial meeting where you're going to deliver the music to the ears message. Guys, do you realize that when I call them, like if Marie's my prospect, I tell her, hey, I'd like to meet with you, at Starbucks, blah, blah, blah. And she's interested in meeting at Starbucks. She'll let me know and I'll tell her, I only have a half hour. I got another appointment after that. And I truly have to be done in 20 minutes. What are you doing? You're cutting off the fact that they have, or Marie has 10 questions asked me. And if she asked me 2 or 3 questions during that initial meeting at Starbucks, and she says, when I tell her, I said, well, I got to go. I really, truly have another appointment. And if you want, you could show them your appointment booklet. It's up to you. I've done that. But here's the thing. If they said, well, I have more questions, then not a problem. We're going to talk about those in the follow-up. Okay. Now that she doesn't know it, but I'm going to send her to the website again during the follow-up based on her questions. Okay. The thing is, now let me understand, during the follow-up, if she says, well, Rob, how do I get paid? That's not a comp plan question. So I just want to make that clear. I say, well, Marie, you get paid once a month. Here's how you get paid on the volume is created. Our system does that. That's not a comp plan question. That's just how do I get paid question. You can answer that. Okay. That's short and to the point. There's no complexity to that. When they want to know about the details of the comp plan, that's totally a company website thing, a video. That has nothing to do with me. Okay, so I wanted to make that clear during the follow-up. If she says, well, I have more questions, and one of her questions is, how do I get paid? That's a simple, easy question. And I really hate going down the list of questions they can ask that you can or cannot answer because, once again, it's all about the speed and urgency. But when Marie and I meet, if she is new to the industry, she doesn't understand it. I understand in my mind that she's trying to connect the dots. I got to keep it. I've already set her up mentally that I only have 20 minutes. So even if she asks me a couple questions, what's my pat answer that I'm going to deliver with confidence and quickly and accurately? Go to the website. Here's why. I'm a business builder. I've been around this business a long time. I've learned how this business works. I understand the role of the product. I understand your concerns. I take the product. It doesn't hurt anyone. The ingredients are on the website. Okay, guys, that's what you got to do. That's what I will do with her. Okay, if she starts getting deeper questions about who is the president, where did they work before, that's too deep. What do? Confidently, accurately, and in a positive manner. You need to go to the website. I don't know where all they've been, and the company website explains exactly their history in this industry. All I know is they have the experience that's necessary to make this business go. And that's all I'm concerned about. Okay. So you can see how, even though she's asking general questions, I will deflect it to the website. If it gets really specific questions, since I told her I only had 20 minutes, I tell her, you know what, we'll talk about that in the follow-up, knowing that when I do the follow-up, I'm going to send it right back to the website because I know that duplication and speed and urgency is key here, even if I know the answer. Okay. That's how you handle the tough questions, because some people are going to, because of their will so strong, they're going to put you on the spot. They're going to challenge you. You've got to be equal to that challenge, and you can be equal not by your own will. Some of you are not strong enough yet internally, but just by saying what we're teaching you, maintain your posture and just say that's what the website's for. I am a business builder. That's all you got to do, and it will deflect. And if they say, well, if that's your answer, if that's what approach you're going to take, I can't work with somebody like that. You know what? Let it be. Love them and leave them. Now, see that because loving and leaving them has proven to be a wonderfully strong, positive thing to happen, because there's a lot of times people will come back. And that's a lot of times these strong-willed people are not used to people standing up to them. Your goal is not to stand up to them. Your goal is to have a duplicatable system that will create speed and urgency. If they decide to join you later and you break these rules, they're going to slow down their speed and urgency, and you're going to have a real problem on your hand, because now they're going to say, well, I did everything you did when you prospected me, and I'm not having near the results. You invented that. It's not them being a pain in the butt. It's you. You invented that. You brought that into the system because you did not stick with the script. Right, Ms. Marie?
Well, yes. And one of the things that can be intimidating if you're going after the right kind of prospects, and what we encourage people to do is you're looking for people who are already business owners, already successful people. They are going to have strong personalities. They are going to push back. They are going to say, hey, I'm here now, explain it to me now, type of thing.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to hold your position with that confidence, with that posture that Rob's talking about, to direct them down the path you want them to go. Because again, it's also about that duplication. You don't want them getting trapped if they join your business in responding to all the questions that a prospect may have, because you're going to end up wasting a lot of time and taking much more time with your prospects than you should.
Yes, absolutely. And guys, it's a sliding scale. When you start out here and you start doing it, next thing you know, your calls are turning into social calls, and you're spending a half hour, 40 minutes on there, because it goes by fast. I mean, look at our episode. We're already 32 minutes in. I mean, we're talking fast. And the thing is that that half hour, that 40 minutes goes fast. If you spend 40 minutes on every person and you're trying to talk to 10 people a day, do you realize that's over 4 hours? Okay. And you're saying to yourself, when you join, well, I don't have 4 hours a night to put into this. Well, whose fault is it? It's yours. I'm pointing at you, because you're not doing what we're telling you. You got to have speed and urgency. Once they get into business and they get inside and they see the business building system, they get it. They're like, oh, I get it. Okay. So if you have 2 hours and you want to be the most effective, most efficient business builder you can be in 2 hours, and you have family, guys, what does that mean you got to do? You got to limit yourself to what? 20 to 25 minutes. Okay. And believe me, delivering the music to the ears message is a minute and a half. The rest of it is garbage. Okay. In other words, what do I say next? What do I do next? If they don't have any questions, move on. That's the reason why you have that 20-minute time limit. I encourage you, since we have the watches we did today, to set the timer right there in front of them. Okay. And if you want, lay your calendar out right there where they can see that you have another appointment. Put down the location of that appointment. Okay. And I don't mean like in detail, like 372842, Boo 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 Boulevard. That's not what I'm saying, because you don't know who you're meeting. Okay. The point is, put down first initial, last name. There again, don't put names out, because you know who it is. And you can put down Ding Dong Plaza. Okay. Because you know where Ding Dong Plaza is. And you're going to see Miss Congeniality. How's that? So I'm just throwing names out there. The point is, at least they see a name there and they say, oh, they've got someone else to meet. Okay. And you don't even have to point it out unless you want to, but then set your watch down, or have your watch right there, have it go off at 20 minutes and say, okay, I got to go. That 20 minutes will go by fast, even though it only takes a minute and a half to deliver that music to the ears message, because I can promise you, more times than not, people are going to have questions. All right. Now,
Well, let me just pop in here just for a quick second, Rob. One of the things we need to make sure folks understand is you want to keep this initial meeting brief because you are playing the numbers. These are prospects. You're finding out if they're actually interested, if they're actually going to pursue the business. So you don't want to spend extended amounts of time with each of these people because the vast majority of them are not going to take the next step. They're not going to go to the follow-up call. They're not going to want a follow-up call, whatever it is. So you are in a sorting process at this point, and you need to move through it as quickly as you possibly can, looking for those leaders. So that's really the basic point we're trying to make here.
Right. And that's a very good clarifying point. She's absolutely right. And let me say this, because we automatically defer to the music to the ears message, because it's a most important part of you meeting them. That's a reason why you meet them, okay? Whether it's online or in person. Now, here's the thing. Before you deliver the music to the ears message, we told you in that episode about the music to the ears message is this. You're doing an interview. And so when I meet Marie, whether it's online or in person, I'm going to say, well, I see that you work with company A, B, and C. What do you do there? Okay. What am I doing? I'm interviewing her before I deliver the music to the ears message. I'm still going to deliver the message. But remember, we use the scale of ambition. So I wanted to make sure you understood. I just assumed and I kind of glossed over it. But look, there's a step-by-step process. And the scale of ambition, what you're doing is finding out what kind of person is Miss Marie. How many people work for you, Miss Marie? How long have you been with the company? Did you start out there? Have you been there? Is that the only company you work for? Oh, okay. Well, how many times have you been promoted? I'm kind of paraphrasing here. I don't know if I would get that personal, but you get the point. I want to find out how long she's been there, how many times she's been promoted, how many people she's leading. If she has a degree, where did you go to school? Are you from this area? How many family, you have? Why am I doing that? Because I want to find out what kind of person I'm talking to here and how well-rounded she is. And once again, on the scale of ambition, when I walk away from that 20-minute meeting, I'm going to be putting that information on that scale of ambition. Once I ask those questions, and they're quick, okay, it's not like, and this is not a social, this is a evaluation process. I am interviewing her. She doesn't know it. She doesn't get it. And I'm developing a bond. I'm showing that I care about her. I'm showing that I'm more about people than I am business. But then I'll tell her after I finish those questions, well, hey, this is the reason why I got together with you, because I was impressed with you. And obviously your information is, I reinforced that, but here's why. I'm a business person. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm all about money. I'm all about lifestyle. I've accessed the network marketing business model to tap into new companies that are going through exponential growth. And that only lasts 1 to 3 years. Timing is absolutely critical. I've run into a company that provides me the ability to make incredible money, maybe even create wealth. I'm looking for people who want that kind of lifestyle money too. Regardless of the fact that it's network marketing, is that something that you are interested in? Okay, now I'm paraphrasing the music to the ears message, but that is it in a nutshell. Why am I doing that? Because as she just said, it's a separator. It's a sifter. That message is. She's either going to say, hey, because she hears lifestyle and money and entrepreneur, which are 3 important keywords for successful people. And so anyway, the point is, I only ask the music to the ears, I only deliver the music to the ears question after I've asked the quote unquote interview questions. Okay. So, because I'm trying to find out who I'm working with here. Right, Miss Marie?
Yep, that's the process you want to follow. And again, you want to move through it as quickly as possible.
Yeah, there it is. Because 20 minutes goes by fast. And sometimes you could be 25 minutes. I mean, you know what, guys? We're just giving you a guideline. You have to have a guideline. Life doesn't always work on 20-minute segments, right? Sometimes it's going to be a little bit more, okay? But you got to take control of the situation. Don't let them start rambling on about how many kids they have and what school they went. I mean, no, okay? Once again, you told them when you met them you only had 20 minutes, and you've got to stick with that, okay? And you can politely interrupt and say, hey, I only have 20 minutes. I'd love to learn more, but I only have 20 minutes. I got another appointment, and I've got to head out, okay? So Ms. Marie, the most successful people in just about any industry, sometimes, as we talked about before, come across as butt heads. And it's not always the case. They're very focused, and they keep very tight schedules. I've seen so many of their day planners. It's amazing the schedule they keep, and they stick on that schedule. And if they only got 20 minutes, they will interrupt you in a polite way, and sometimes get a little aggressive about it if you don't get the hint. But the reason I bring that up, guys, is that you may have to develop that, hey, I gotta go. I would love to carry this conversation on. And that's a love them and leave them statement right there. I would love to carry this conversation on, but I've got another appointment. As I said, I have got to go. It was a pleasure meeting you, blah, blah, blah. And you don't leave until you get a follow-up date. Because once again, and let me just lay it out real quick. Okay, you're doing the interview questions. You deliver the music to the ears message. Then you scale of 1 to 10, what's your interest level? Okay. And if she says, well, it's a 7 or 8, okay, can we do a follow-up tomorrow? Can you go to the website? Can you access the information that you're looking for? We'll follow up tomorrow. What would be a good time? And you want to make the follow-up as quickly as possible, okay? Sometimes you'll have people say, well, I could do it later tonight after soccer practice. I don't know if I could do it tomorrow, but I could do it tonight. Okay, yeah, okay. And if I have to, I'll squeeze her in. Somehow, some way, I will squeeze her in. Because if she's showing me that kind of initiative, I can't afford. I got to strike when the iron's hot. And I'm going to have to manipulate my schedule a little bit, but I got to stick it in there, okay? Because those people are hot. You'll see that will pay off. But I just wanted to make sure you understood the hierarchy. You have the interview questions, deliver the message, scale of 1 to 10, where's your interest level? Can we schedule a follow-up? That's it, right, Ms. Marie?
Yep, that's it in a nutshell.
Yep. And if they say, no, I can't, I'm not going to schedule a follow-up, you're done. It's time to move on. There's oh, are you sure? How about Wednesday? How about Thursday? How about Friday? No. Okay. You can say, well, will another day work for you? If they say no, what does that tell you? They're not interested. That's their way of saying no. They're being polite. What does that tell you? It's time to go.
Yep. At that point, it's pretty much, well, thanks so much for meeting with me. Yeah. It was a pleasure. Wish you all the best. See ya.
Exactly. There it is. I love them and leave them way to go. I mean, to end the conversation in the meeting. So, guys, you just have to realize that it's a step-by-step process. Everything you're doing is a duplicatable event, and everything creates speed and urgency. And handling tough questions is nothing more than maintaining the basics that we've been teaching you about the prospecting process. That's how you handle the tough questions when you have a strong-willed prospect, okay? And think about it. You're the one in control. You initiated the contact. They do not have control. You do. You can end that conversation at any time. You can end that meeting anytime. You do not have to put up with their crap. You do not have to cater to their every little whim. Some people are used to getting their way. Believe me, I've dealt with those people, and they didn't like it when I did what I had to do. Okay. And the thing is, I've never allowed anybody, Miss Marie. Now, when I was in the military, I was a different thing. I mean, obviously, I was taught to obey the commands I got, despite the fact that I didn't like a lot of them. But that's neither here nor there. That's what you do as a professional. But when I got in the civilian world, I don't put up with that crap, and I didn't. And I'm telling you, working for some of the largest companies in the world, such as Ford, Papa John's International, UPS, et cetera, et cetera. I could go on and on. I've worked with some of the largest companies in the world. There are some strong-willed people there, Miss Marie. I'll tell you, we butted heads many times. And they learned real quick that Rob was not the type to be pushed around. So, my ethics came above and beyond the money. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Money is not everything.
It is not. The more you make, the more they own you. And I didn't mind making a lot of money, which I did. A lot of times I contracted myself out. And so I did not have to deal with the corporate bull crap. So that was easy. My brother taught me that. Anyway, Miss Marie, do you have anything to add to our wonderful episode today? Is the message clear and concise? Did we bring it to a clear close where people understand what we talked about today?
Well, absolutely. And I think in summary, again, this is the sorting process, the sifting process. You want to be quick, you want to be concise, you want to move along, and you have to understand that most people you meet with, most people you have that initial conversation with are not going to join your business. You're working through the numbers, you're looking for the leaders, you just have to be ready to do that. And then I just want to say this is going to lead into our topic for tomorrow a little bit, because what happens when you meet with somebody or you're having that initial conversation and all of a sudden you realize, oh my goodness, they are a network marketer and they're trying to recruit me. So we're going to talk about that on our episode tomorrow. That will be Wednesday morning, November 18th, 11 a.m. Eastern time. I encourage you to join us for that. And of course, as always, if you would please like, comment, share on our various social media platforms. You can find us all across the interwebs by searching hashtag TheMLM Solution. That's hashtag TheMLM Solution. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to register for notifications so you know when we have new content there for you. And of course, be sure to visit our website, TheMLMsolution.net. We have several products there, high value, free download for a limited time. I'm not sure what that limited time is, but take advantage of that. Go grab that, TheMLMsolution.net.
Yes, absolutely. Well done, Miss Marie. Well, guys, as she stated, without dragging this on, there's 3 products on the main page. That is one of them, the 4 critical mistakes most networkers make and how to overcome them. That's Miss Marie's favorite. I certainly understand that. If you're making the mistakes, guess what? All the progress you're making towards your goals is going to be undermined by these critical mistakes. If you don't know what they are, chances are great that you're making those mistakes and sabotaging yourself. Do not do that. Go there. Free download. How can you beat that, right, Miss Marie? Additionally,
you can't. And if you don't like it, your money back.
We'll send free back to free. All right. Additionally, 5 simple steps to networking success. Just on the opposite end of the spectrum of the 4 critical mistakes. And what you want to do is eliminate those 4 critical mistakes and then focus on what? The 5 simple steps we always talk about in our business or in our podcast, right? Because that is what makes your business go. So think about it. You become a focused business building machine because you eliminated the problems. And guess what? Then you turned around and you did the right things, the 5 simple steps. And then you become a very efficient business building machine that's profitable. Wouldn't you agree, Ms. Marie? I
absolutely agree.
Yep. All right. With that being said, guys, we'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of the MLM Solution. We'll talk to you later, guys. God bless.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, TheMLMsolution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.